These two watches look almost identical and, well, they offer almost the same thing, but at the end of the day, they're priced slightly differently, they have slightly different features, and this is what we're going to discuss today. So I decided to put these 38mm case designs to the test. So what we're going to do in this particular review and a head-to-head comparison is we'll go section by section. So first we'll look at the designs, then we'll talk about the straps, then we'll talk about the crystals, and we'll put them head-to-head in every single category and see which one of these two comes out on top at the end of it all. Anyways, the links to both of these watches are in the description below the video, so check them out if you're after a sharp price. And now, let's get into it. Let's kick off with the dimensions. So with the Escapement time and Militado, the dimensions are almost the same. So diameter of 38mm, a lug-to-lug length of 47 on the Escapement time and 46.5 on the Militado. The height is 10mm on the Escapement time and 10.5 on the Militado. The lug width is 20mm on both and a weight of 75 grams on both as well. Undoubtedly, the retro feel of the watches is clear. Both cases feature the sandblasting finishes across the cases, yet if we dig into the nuances of case designs, looking at the profile, the flank on Escapement time is just that little bit more elegant. That 0.5 millimeter of the height, that's what we witness here. Also, the arch of the lugs is smoother on the Escapement time, and they narrowed the tips for a more fluid and exquisite look. On the wrist you wouldn't feel it, but on close inspection it's evident. Another point of difference in design is the screw and crown, which is actually signed for Escapement time, but not on the Militado. Both timepieces feature screw-down case backs, both radially brushed, mostly identical in the form factor. Yet Escapement time provides more of the useful and relevant information on the back, like the water resistance rating, movement specifics, and the battery type. ML05 just has the brand name on the case cover. So I think the first point goes to Escapement time, so 1-0 here. Let's keep going. Onto the straps now. Both watches offer spring bars, which are better than fixed bars, availing tons more option for third-party straps. But in regards to their original straps, we face an ideology gap. Escapement time offers a beige nylon strap, complementing the beige inserts of the hands and our indices on the dial. The pin buckle and squarish keepers appear quite intricate, but there are two major downfalls in my mind. Firstly, the beige strap. Seriously, this is a field watch. It's supposed to be adventurous and out there in the wild, and I think having a beige strap on a field watch is like wearing a white shirt to camping. Secondly, the buckle and keepers are brushed, not sandblasted. The finish contrasts the case finish, and that's just not right. Militado does better, at least in terms of practicality. The strap is mostly black, but the middle section is beige. Also, the pin buckle and keepers are more minimalistic, neat and sandblasted, just like the case. And hence for the strap round, it goes to the Militado. So 1-1. Our third segment is the crystals. Both offer lightly domed designs, the quality of glass is near perfect on both, clarity is outstanding and there are no distortions. Yet, Escapement time opted for a more budget offering, specifically the K1 mineral crystal, essentially hardened glass, while Militado provides sapphire crystal. Both get anti-reflective coating, but considering this is a watch for the outdoors, sapphire beats K1 any day. So another point goes to the Militado watch. Let's go to number 4. With regards to movements, both use Seiko's VH31, a dependable sweeping seconds hand hybrid quartz, mimicking the automatic sweep of the seconds hand. 4 pulses per second allow for relatively fluid motion. The movement also needs a battery replacement every 2 years. So here both watches get 1 point each. And that comes to a tally of 2 points for Escapement time and 3 points for Militado. Now let's talk about the dials. At first glance, the two dials seem identical. Piano black dials with the minute tracks on the periphery, upside down beige triangles for the hour indices, and white edged hands with beige lume inserts. Even luminosity is great on both, bright, legible, and relatively long lasting. But as we know, the devil lies in the details. The sterile white 1 to 24-hour numerals are in similar fonts, yet on escapement time, the strokes are more fine, visually, well, sort of more pleasing, and visually more refined. Personally, I enjoy Militado's more prominent font. It's a bit fatter and appears to be more contrasty than that of the escapement time watch. But that is a very subjective area. Hence, we'll just have to give 1 point to Militado as well as 1 point to escapement time. Because on one side, yeah, the more refined text, the more thin and elegant, maybe that's the good thing. But also, a field watch, you need to be highly legible. And I personally think that the legibility is better on the Militado. But again, subjectively and gray area, so we'll just give them 1 point each here. Let's talk price, because that is a crucial factor when you're deciding to buy a watch. Now, the escapement time here, $55. That's what I paid for it, while the Militado set me back $45. So that's a difference of 20%. Is that significant? Well, 45, 55 does not sound like major difference, but considering we are getting sapphire crystal and the watch costs cheaper with the same movement and very similar aesthetics, I think this round goes to the Militado. And the tally for the scores now is 3 points for escapement time and 5 points for Militado. The 7th category is presentation. Now, AliExpress has conditioned us to expect much more than we would expect or get on the high street. And when I lay out $50 on AliExpress, I expect a nice storage box for my watch. If I could, I would deduct points for this box, because seriously, this is poor form. But we can't deduct any points in this game. It's basically another point that goes towards Militado. The final tally on these two watches is 3 points for the escaping time and 6 points for the Militado. Now, both watches are great, but if some of the categories were a bit subjective, there are 3 definitively objective reasons why the Militado is doing better. Firstly, sapphire crystal. Secondly, lower price. And thirdly, the presentation box. Anyways, these two watches are pretty good. I think for under the $100 mark, under the $60 mark, they're both doing really well. The links to both of these are in the description below the video, so do check them out if you're after some sharp prices. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one.